We need access to mines to make cars. The mines we need to make cars are not in America. The mines that supply the 10 essential car metals are heavily concentrated in just a handful of countries, creating significant supply chain and geopolitical risk.
Geographic concentration. Australia alone hosts top-tier mines for iron ore, bauxite, lithium, and manganese, making it the most diversified single-country source for car metals. Indonesia has emerged as the dominant force in nickel, producing more than half of the global supply, a dramatic rise over the past decade. China controls the vast majority of graphite and rare earth production, along with significant downstream processing for lithium, cobalt, and manganese. DRC is essentially irreplaceable for cobalt. Its share of mined cobalt exceeds 70%. Chile remains the copper heavyweight, though DRC's Kamoa-Kakula is growing rapidly. South Africa holds roughly 80% of known manganese reserves and is a key supplier of high-grade ore. Ferroalloys. Brazil is the second largest iron ore producer and hosts the world's largest single iron ore mine, Carajás.
Strategic implications. This geographic clustering means that a hypothetical 10-mine car supply chain would likely draw from Australia, 3 to 4 mines, Indonesia, 1 to 2, DRC, 1 to 2, China, 1 to 2, Chile or Peru, 1, and South Africa, 1. Any disruption in Australia, Indonesia, or DRC could cripple EV battery or steel supply. China's grip on graphite and rare earths adds another layer of concentration risk. We need friends. To make cars, we need friends because we do not have the mines in America. Nor do we even know how to obtain a mining permit before the buffoon leads us over the cliff. I would argue that we do not even know how to build most refining metal plants in America, even if we could solve the permitting dysfunction.
Do you think slapping tariffs on these friends will encourage them to furnish the metals and minerals we need to build cars? Do you think Congress will fund a Bureau of Mines that helps us develop state-of-the-art technology to refine metals in America? Do you think we know how to appease the NIMBYs in America who stop us from building here and export our responsibilities to the environment to less developed countries?
This is the Ancient Texan. Let me summarize what we just listened to. We need access to mines for the ores and raw materials that we need to make cars. Most of those metal concentrates and ores are refined in China into metals. We need those metals to make cars. Most of the mines that give us the ores and metals we need to make cars are located in Australia, Indonesia, China, DRC, Chile, South Africa, and Brazil. One day we need to be able to take those ores and metal concentrates into American plants. For the moment, we need to get most of the metals we need from China after they take ores from these countries. To be able to refine these ourselves, we need metal refining plants in the U.S. To be able to do that, we need agreements with these countries. We need to be friendly enough that we can get agreements that we get ore and concentrates from these countries, or in some cases metals. We need to be able to build plants in America. We need the know-how. That's mostly held in the heads of some old guys like myself, because the first generation we sent plants to China, second generation we sent the know-how. And we're on the third generation, and you have people like myself that are 80, some of us still pre-senile. The strategic implication of this is that we need friends. And we can't pretend like we can go it alone. And do you think slapping tariffs on the countries that we need to be friends with to get the raw materials that we need to make cars and many other things, but I'm just doing cars today. Do you think tariffs are going to win friends and help us get the raw materials that we need to make cars in America? Do you think we can move to a world where we're not dysfunctional with regard to giving permits, taking 20 years to get a permit, that we can do it in 1 year? That's what we need to do if we want to save America. Democrats, I would blame most of that on you. Yes, it is serious and it's depressing. And we're spending a lot of time talking about nonsense stuff like invading Greenland. Only a buffoon would be talking of those things. Someone that knew that all our supply chains are in jeopardy, and actually the one that put most of those supply chains in jeopardy is the one in charge. Republicans are cowards, best I can say. So what if you don't get reelected? If you don't stand for anything and you don't do anything, who the hell cares if you get elected again or not? Stand up and do your job. Democrats, quit being anti-Trump as your main message. We have things that need to be done. Talk about those. Don't let the buffoon get you off the subject. There's a lot just in my field with supply chains that needs to be done. Not to say there's not a lot of other stuff that needs to be done in America. Dealing with the debt's one of them. But if you want America to be functional, quit fighting with the other side and get together and do your job. I don't want to be on either side right now. I don't see either side doing the job or concentrating on the job and talking about what needs to be done in America. This is just one small corner of the world on what needs to be done, and there is a truckload of things that need to be done just in assuring that we get the metals we need to make cars. Anyway, this is the Ancient Texan. Hoping y'all get your act together and focus on the problems that we have and quit fighting with the other side. The Republicans get some balls. Democrats focus on the problems, not on how bad the buffoon is. This is the Ancient Texan. Namaste.